and welcome to the final week of the regular season for the East County Prep Football Report with Raymond Brown of stfootball.net. I'm Ramon Scott of eastcountysports.com, and we're off the uh, game of the century. I think I just called it the greatest game of all time. Raymond, you were there. We're gonna talk about it until no end at this point, but uh, just it lived up to all expectations. The reason why I tried to, kind of hype it up, it didn't need no hyping up. This game, everyone was talking about it, so it's not our biggest game ever. It's just the fact that I could not find another instance of East County teams ever meeting at this point of the season. Remember, there wasn't always this point of the season. This was like the end of the season decades ago. But no instances of 8-0 teams ever meeting this late in the season, much less for a league championship. Not officially, but we know what the stakes were. Not to mention those top seedings that were available in the open division playoffs, where the we don't know now probably where we stand with those, but. Your reaction to the game last week, Raymond. We'll look at the highlights in just a moment, but I think rather than overshadow your comments, I really would like to just talk to you about the incredible game. Uh, did it live up to last year's game? Maybe it just was equal. From 46-44 last year in four overtimes to look at the score this year, and they really kind of accelerated with the score at the end of the game, and then a helix, of course, going for it. And I'll say my piece about maybe what Demaja Jones was thinking, Raymond. But what do you think with the game last week?
It definitely lived up to the hype. Everything we was talking about going into this game, two undefeated teams going for the Grossmont Hills title, open division implications on the line, and man, oh man, what a game it was. Uh, Grossmont, Granite Hills. I'm sorry, live stream. Granite Hills got off to a 23-7 start. It looked like they were gonna blow Helix out of the water when they scored again after Helix answered. But then, Kevin Allen the third, man, he's a serious player of the year contender. He's been having a great season. He basically carried this team on his shoulders and led them into overtime, and he scored again. And of course, after Granite Hills answered, Helix scored. Um, Kevin Allen, they put it on his shoulders for one last time, going for the 2-point conversion. Very controversial decision. I liked it, but I'll get to it later. But unfortunately, he couldn't get in the end zone. He was tackled at the goal line, and that was that, man. Granite Hills walks away with it, and they have a chance to make history if they win next week. So that was my take. What an excellent game, gutsy performance by Helix. Great win by Granite Hills.
I'll roll the highlights in, and then maybe we can talk about those pressing questions here. Uh, Heading into the final week of the season, the league championship is technically still at stake for both teams. But take a look at this one, Raymond, and just a great night there. Oh, let me make sure you got it. Yeah, we're rolling. But here we go.
Yeah, Isaiah Jackson had a great night, man. He was running the ball very well. Him and his buddy Max Turner. So, yeah, the run game was definitely working for Granite Hills, starting off with this play, which set up a field goal by one of the best kickers in the county.
You said they might have an impact, Raymond. I was saying be ready. I think they knew it.
And you are absolutely right. Great defense, man. Rylan Jesse had a great game, but he was running for his life most of the time, man. That defensive line is a beast. Here's Robert Petrich
Oh
again.
man, that's just look at that. I mean, that's a boomer. I mean,
Super boomer. There goes Rylan Jesse. Finds uh, Jackson Daniel. That was actually the only touchdown pass of the game. All the other touchdowns were Kevin Allen runs.
oh,
There's Max Turner getting his off. I thought this was going to the house.
Jackson and Turner combining for 243 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Oh, yeah, what a great duel. Max Turner finishing the job right here for the score.
I'm watching Cobbs down there.
Yes. What a great atmosphere, man. These Granite Hills games get a lot of support. And this one of the biggest.
That's
Brandon Lewis is having a season.
Lewis.
Yes, Brandon Lewis. What a season he's having. They just have an abundance of wide receivers on that team. And like any of them can break out and have a great game.
6 catches, 110 yards for Lewis. The Eagles, as a Highlander, and the fact that you let me pick Helix, I never felt like they were going to quite get there. In fact, when they finally got in position, it was, remember, 2 touchdowns down.
Oh, yeah.
And this is all Eagle momentum at this point, Raymond.
Yeah, they were rolling until up until the mid third quarter. That's when Helix decided to wake up and try to rally back. Another field goal for Robert Petridge. I think that he was 3 for 3. He had a long of 45 yards. So excellent game for him. And this is when Helix decided to wake up and put it on Kevin Allen's shoulders. And
Raymond, he ran out of the. He had never run out of the Wildcat, and they did it several times in the game. I don't know, if it was part of the strategy, but it was a big piece of the Helix comeback. But here's another big play by the Eagles.
yes, Max Turner with another long run, and he gets caught from behind by Brandon Arrington. I knew that track. Once I seen him come into the screen, I knew that track speed was going to catch up. Had that been any other defender, he probably would have been gone. We got Max Turner again, 3 touchdowns for him on the night.
And the Eagles
Shout out to
still
that offensive line.
maintaining that lead. I felt like it was going to be very difficult for Helix to catch up.
And I want to give a quick shout out to Papa Xander, his live stream during the game. I messed up my shot of this touchdown. Well, I didn't mess it up, but it was we couldn't see Kevin Allen, so I had to go into the live stream and get that. So shout out to Papa Xander. I got to meet him in the press box. Great guy. His kid is amazing at wide receiver. So, yeah, man, sack right here. This is the one that set up the. I think this set up the overtime play. The defense was able to get to Ryland right here, but he had Hosman Lee to take it into overtime.
Yep.
And he did just that. Another great kicker, one of the best in the county, along with Petridge.
I mean, it didn't take a genius to say be ready by the kickers, but I'll take some credit.
It's Kevin Allen with another one.
Yep.
Taking the lead. Then we have an answer. Please forgive me for my bad camera work. I had an off night. But that's a touchdown right there. Isaiah
Quickly into the end zone. Wow.
Tying it up. Now we're going to go into a second overtime. And here's another play I screwed up. But it's a touchdown.
Man, they were just getting these.
Ramirez? Or is that Lewis?
Look at this.
It's hard to see the numbers.
Lewis there, okay.
And here it is, final play of the game. No, that's actually the touchdown, Kevin Allen touchdown. And now they decide to go for 2 right here. So here it is. It's do or die for Helix. So close, man. Saw that hole. It just closed up on them, and pandemonium running wild.
And that is Trevor Smith.
Yes, Kevin Allen had 5 touchdown runs.
None of this would be happening. I was working off, even when I wasn't playing. I was getting my practicing, so we knew it was going to be a dogfight. We knew, so we came out ready. And, yeah.
Honestly, I just want to first and foremost thank God and also thank my coaches for allowing me to come up on the next level and perform this whole year. I just been really doing my thing, game my game. If if any mistakes happen during the game, I just put them behind me and move on, you know?
I mean, it's great. Our kids stepped up, made the play at the end of the game when they needed to. They battled back, down 17. You got to tip your cap to their kids for hanging in there and fighting all the way through, making it interesting at the game. We had talked about it as a staff. We thought they might go for 2 just because they got so many guys going both ways. We got to stop at the end, so it was a great play.
Yes, he was. A lot of people were talking at it, but at the same time, a lot of people were talking that they were going to blow us out. So for us to come home, deliver on senior night feels amazing.
It was a lot of butterflies, but butterflies are good. I just took each play by play, motivated my defense to go out there and stop them. But, they couldn't stop us, so we just had to back up for them, do what we got to do.
And man, we luckily there's a lot of senior leadership that have brought him along pretty quickly. He's matured a lot over the last 7-8 weeks already. So having him back there, he's cool and collected, delivers the ball, made some nice throws today when he needed to. And then up front, our offensive defensive line are going to make it easy on him at times, take some of that pressure off him. He doesn't have to put everything on his shoulders to help us win. So that's nice having that, that luxury.
I don't care what you say. I think you did an amazing job, and it was a great game. It was Trevor Smith, Raymond, with the stop there inside the 5-yard line of Kevin Allen, the biggest play of his career. So last year, I don't know, maybe that game was a little bit more thrilling, but I think this one had a little bit more quality football, quite frankly, especially, nice comeback by Helix. Benitez, 200 yards passing, and Helix. Now we know the matchups pretty safe here, Raymond. Helix versus Lincoln, Granite Hills versus Carlsbad. I only bring it up because my thinking here is, not having heard any comment from Jones, I don't know if there's been any talk, but I'm thinking, hey, I've already exuded this much energy. I mentioned in some social media, I thought, man, the hitting was off the charts. This is one of the best games I've ever seen in the East County for sure. And you know what? I'm in the Final Four no matter what. I think that felt safe for Jones. And he's like, so let's just not even go out there for 3, 6, 9, 12 more plays. Let's take our chance right now. They talked about Helix also having more two-way players.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it. And Coach Cops was alliterating the same thing. It's like they got so many players playing both sides that they were kind of getting tired. They're just like, yo, let's just win this game and get up out of here. But unfortunately, Trevor Smith made the play, and they're heading to the open division with the 3 seed. And Helix should still be in there at number 4. That's going to be a great game against Lincoln. And it's going to be also a great game against Carlsbad, Granite Hills and Carlsbad. I like those 2 matchups, and I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, man, great game, man. I don't know if it feels the same. It's kind of similar to last year. Granite Hills kind of dominated last year's game. Helix had to rally back and force overtime, and then they did what they had to do. So this gonna be a great little newfound rivalry game for years, man. These teams are gonna go at it. It was fun, man. The atmosphere was fun, and I'm proud of both teams. Both teams they put it together and showed out for the East County, and I hope they represent well in the open division.
And again, I thought that it was key that Allen ran out of that Wildcat first time all year. Save time, I guess, and get you to the line. We know what that type of play, that offense, that can do for a back like him that can get to the line of scrimmage and to the hole so quickly. So we're not going to hear from these. Well, I guess we will, because we'll talk about them next week. Granite Hills still has to go on the road at Grossmont, which is a, nice game. We'll talk about that. But I just want to make a note when we talk about the open division, those that Final Four matchup. If you remember, Raymond, back in the COVID year, remember Granite Hills took on Carlsbad in kind of a pseudo mythical county championship game, because both teams went 5-0. I think Granite Hills knew what they were doing there. I think we knew that they were not going to win that game, and it was 63-14. But just interesting to note, because at the time, both programs were kind of like growing and getting to the point, and that was the result of that season. But they both played each other 5-0 in kind of a championship game, really, at the end of the pandemic season. So. All right, great job. this one's been bandied
Quick
about
question.
already. Go ahead. I want
Do
to
you
go.
think having, with all due respect to these two programs, do you think having West Hills and Santana in the league affected Helix and Granite Hills rating as far as strength of schedule? Because I heard some ramblings about that after the game. I want to get your take on it.
Yeah, obviously not, right? Because where they have ended up, right? Can you ask me a little bit deeper if I'm missing the point? I mean, for them to finish, you know, 3 and 4, and I get right. I mean, there's not going to be a change, right? It's going to be, even I've come around on the rankings, sir, with Lincoln. I'm real, I think last week I was ready to say Lincoln number one now because Carlsbad, they just haven't covered the spread, if you will, with their wins like Lincoln has. But no, it doesn't look like it to me, right? And they've held on to the number 3 and the number 4 without a problem. It looks like to me no chance for them escaping. I think everybody agrees with that, right?
Right. Okay, I just
Okay.
want to get your take on it. And I'll shoot Carlsbad some bell. The Avocado League is a bloodbath, man. It's like everybody destroying everybody. So for Carlsbad to be able to survive Torrey Pines and La Costa Canyon,
No,
that
those
says
are
a lot about them. But yeah, Lincoln is looking better as far as style points. But let's
yeah,
move on.
no. It definitely can be argued strength of schedule of those final games, but just maybe I was expecting more than just a touchdown or two victory for Carlsbad. They had to rally, obviously, or they were pressed in both of those late season against teams certainly that have appeared in the top 10 this season. Where Lincoln's taking on a decent team. We know like with UC, I mean the one-sided game, good talent, no depth. So of course Lincoln can roll right through them, and uh, doesn't matter. They're going to meet on the these 4 teams will mix it up on the field with an outside chance that our teams. I say our teams could meet in a final. Any chance for these teams? We got one more week to go, Raymond. But uh, why not? Why not? Granite Hills has played great. Carlsbad's a great team, man. They'll be anything on that on
I
those.
said, I said, I said in an earlier podcast that I think both teams could give Lincoln and Carlsbad a run for their money. Not necessarily beat them, but I think they could give them some great competition and make it interesting. So it's
Yeah,
not going to be like last year where one blows out 4 and two blows out 3. I think these two games are going to be very competitive.
yeah. And
So we'll see.
Helix and Lincoln is the matchup we've always kind of wanted in a way. It feels like to me
Oh,
for
they
years.
want it too. Lincoln wants that matchup too. They still
Yeah.
remember the D1 championship a couple years ago. So they want to get back at every team that's beaten them over the last couple years, and Helix is one of them. So it should be a great game.
Oh yeah, and I might even be, giving our teams too much credit. They will be 2 and 3 touchdown underdogs in those games, but I think, hey, you're going to get out on the field with some good teams, and can't wait for that. Okay, we'll have plenty of time to talk about it. I just can't stop talking about it. Okay, here we go, rolling with the show. That was a whole show unto itself. All right. We're going to wrap up. Can we wrap up the Hills League here, possibly, Raymond, with Grossmont as they took on Santana in a 46-21 victory for Grossmont in this one. So, Raymond, you can go over some of the stats here, and then maybe we could touch along where these teams stand, or maybe we could do that when we do the previews. But what do you have here?
Yes, man. All it took was for me to believe in Grossmont one more time, and they came through for me this time. So congratulations to Grossmont. Um, wow, man. Hudson Herbert, 4 touchdown performance. Noah Walker got 2 catches, man. His breakout game. We usually talking about Cody Bigley, who also had a great performance, but Noah Walker came through. Josh Ferrara, what a great kid, man. Quick story about Josh, man. He sent me a email like 2 years ago. He was like, "Yo, I just moved up to varsity last week. I'm trying to get my name out there." And I kind of gave him the old cliche, man, just work hard, get in the classroom and stuff. And 2 years later, he sends me his film. I didn't realize that he had emailed me 2 years ago. So it's like, wow, man, you really getting your name out there. So congratulations to the season he's having. He had a pick six in this game. And Lyndon Benson's back in the run game. He had 36
Oh,
yards and a
okay.
touchdown. Yeah. Danny
Okay.
DeGraff. I don't know if these stats are 100%. Danny himself told me he had 3 sacks. The huddle said he had 2. I'm gonna go with the huddle, but if he had 3 sacks, then my bad. But Danny DeGraff had a great game. Uh, 2 or 3 sacks, a forced fumble, and 4 tackles for losses. And Michael Venezuela with 159 all-purpose yards. So great win for Grossmont, man, getting himself in position to have at least a winning season or at least a 500 season.
Oh, this has been a terrific season for Grossmont. The fortunes have completely changed. Yeah, there's been some bumps along the road for Coach Lawrence. I think he's learned a few lessons himself this season, but why wouldn't he be a can't miss coaching prospect given his history and his successes along the way as a quarterback in college in the professional ranks. So Ferrara, you mentioned, but also Zealand Reynolds interception as well. Carson Neal, 8 tackles, leads the defense for Grossmont. Elias Berlaza, Parker Vandenberg, also touchdown receptions for Santana. Austin Foley added 6 receptions, and Caden Hallman had a touchdown as well. Brian Moreno Acosta 2 picks. So Sultans took their lumps in the Grossmont Hills League along with West Hills, as you mentioned here. So it almost looks like to me, Raymond, and you've been following it, you're not new to the scene. I mean, it's almost like we're back in order, other than Granite Hills now being an elite team, but the Steel Canyon, the Grossmont, they've kind of risen back to where we just were maybe, before the pandemic, 5 years ago or whatever, as far as the quite frankly, the pecking order of teams as far as top to bottom. It seems like Grossmont is back to where they were previously after their slip up. So, all right.
Anthony Lawrence is doing an amazing job. To be a first, I don't think he's ever been a head coach at any level. He was a wide receiver coach at USD for a year, and then next year he comes over, takes over a winless alma mater, and now he's got them at 5 wins. And if they can upset their next opponent, which was going to be tough, they can have a winning season after. So a big turnaround for Grossmont, man. No matter what happens, I'm proud of that entire group.
Well, look at his career. He must, from being a record-setting quarterback, right, to his experiences. Imagine going to Japan and working in that system there and doing kind of the same thing offensively that he is used to, right? I mean, it was a situation where they had Anthony Lawrence and they were like a prolific passing team that competed for a championship, not to mention the culture that he got to be involved with there and getting to know and instruct and teach and learn from players just must be incredible. So I'm sure he's a terrific teacher.
His team in Japan actually lost their championship game because he wasn't in on the last play.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah, that was crazy. But congratulations and all that success.
Hey, Grossmont, so they're in. They are in the postseason certainly, and so is Santana. We'll talk about that in a little bit. All right. Oh, got another one coming up here. We're gonna in the Hills League. Go ahead, Raymond, with Steel Canyon. So this is what I'm saying with the teams kind of getting back in the pecking order. And unfortunate, I'm sure West Hills is pretty disappointed with a result like this, just because you'd want it to be a little bit closer right now. And again, both teams 5-4, but Steel Canyon dominates here with Sablon. What do you have here?
Yeah, another great game by Jonathan Sablon. He is having an amazing season. That offensive line's looking amazing. I've always been high on them. A great win for Steel Canyon, showing that they still got it. They're still one of the teams to beat in the East County after struggling earlier in the season. They look a whole lot different. I don't know what it is, but it's like one game they don't look too good. Next game they look dominant. So great win here. Nico Jara is having an amazing year on both sides, just everywhere, just an all-purpose threat, man. 2 touchdowns for him, 2 touchdowns for Joshua Herbert. We was just talking about his brother with 4 touchdowns. He added 2, so Unfortunately, his brother got the bragging rights at the dinner table, but he did pretty good. He got the dub, so it's all good. On the West Hill side, Kyler Oberg's having a great year in a losing effort, put up 52 all-purpose yards. And, Nate Stevens got the only touchdown of the game. So, yeah, man, West Hill's looking forward to the Mayor's Cup. That's going to be their Super Bowl this year. That's the game you check off. That's the game you need to win. No matter what your record is, you better win that Mayor's Cup, or else the season's pretty much a failure.
Well, put you on the spot when we get to the previews because it's certainly a closely rated game that looks to be coin flip or toss up or whatever. Steel Canyon also had touchdown runs from junior Jacob Vasquez of 18 yards and senior Michael Lindley had a 6-yard touchdown run. Andres Milton had an interception as well, and Wilson had a touchdown reception. You might have mentioned that one. That was one of Herber's 2 touchdown passes. And, well, I think I've got the storyline, and I'll let the cat out of the bag right now. I mean, Sablon has 1,300 yards rushing this season to lead the East County, and we have a storyline. They're going to play Helix this week, and Allen has 1,225 yards rushing this season. So that could be for the East County rushing title, which is a prestigious title in the East County because, hey, we're known for running backs here in the East County, I think. All right. A great job by Steve.
Sublime is actually number 2 under Sir Darius Audrey for the county league. So
okay, really?
Yeah, and, Kevin Allen ain't that far behind. So
okay. How do you
that's
have all
according to Max Preps? We all know everybody don't put their stats up. So
no. If you
I'm
don't,
just going by what I see.
If you don't put them up, that's on you.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, don't come to us when it's time for Jimmy running back to why isn't he getting overlooked? Just put the stats up there best you can. I mean, nobody inflates. I mean, everyone's at the game. If someone, hey, he had 500, no, he had 300. I was there. All right. Sablon, no, but this is going to be fun for those 2 running backs. Sablon probably overlooked because of what we just saw with record-setting running back Gibbons over the last couple of years. Maybe Sablon, I want to say little Jonathan Sablon out of humor, but maybe he hasn't gotten his just due. But Steel Canyon is a better team this year. Like I said, they're back. They're back to where they need to be at least right now and want to continue to grow. So and tied for 3rd with Grossmont. Make sure that we note that both teams are going to be underdogs next week against the big championship team. So it looks like they'll finish tied for 3rd. Good job, Steel Canyon and Grossmont. The original, you know what I'm saying? The original, the OG Hills League teams. They held where they were supposed to be. Okay, let's go to what was kind of the one of the deciding games for the championship in the Grossmont Valley League. I mean, it's not over yet. Mount Miguel will have to come back again this week and face another championship contender in the Monte Vista Monarchs. But for this one, Raymond, don't let the score fool you. Derek DuBose to Shane Hobson. You have it there on the screen. Touchdown pass makes it 6-all early on. And the Braves, like I said, it wasn't like a whole lot of big plays. I mean, it was a whole lot of Paris Vernon.
Yeah, Mount Miguel rolling again, just running rapid on their Valley League opponents. Man, I want to talk about the next game, but I'll save it. It's so much on the line, and we didn't think it would be at that point. But yeah, congratulations to Coach V and the Matadors with another big win. Shout out to the Braves for a great season and a great effort, man. They fought early in the game with that touchdown pass. Yeah, man, Mount Miguel's rolling, and they're starting to really gel, man. We know we had a lot of new players in the mix, such as Paris Vernon. He came mid-season, and he's having a great impact. Cardwell's having a great impact. He scored another touchdown earlier in the game.
All right.
And Barton is a leading contender for player of the year, in my opinion, with over 400 yards, 4 touchdowns this time. One of the leaders in touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken. I know he's second in passing yards with over 2,500. So,
Who's first?
who is
You
first?
know?
Yes,
Or-
Brody Stump from Kearney with over
Oh,
25.
sure, okay. But Barton prolific, right? It's funny because you were just talking also about uh, you know for for Grossmont and Hudson Herber, right? Barton, Herber, they've
Herbert's right behind him.
yeah, they've
Herbert's right behind him.
statistically far outperformed Benitez this season and Jesse this season. I mean, it's a different, it's a different element and all that. And in fact, it's a better.
Benitez is a game manager, in my opinion. He's not going to put up the big numbers, but he's going to lead your team. He's going to do what he has to do to get the job done.
Oh yeah, no, but
I'm
you
not
could also
expecting big
reverse the
numbers.
roles. You could reverse the roles. I mean, look, Barton's pretty. He rushed for a touchdown, also 24 for 30. Wow, percentage for Barton there. Vernon, since he's come back, you mentioned it, Raymond. Vernon, 634 yards and 8 touchdowns. He also had I think, a long touchdown. I saw in this game at least 50 yards. Davian McGowan botched Davian's name last week. Davian, he had a touchdown reception as well. Dominic Diarcos and junior and senior Marvin Jacobs led El Capitan with 8 solo tackles. Dubose, not only, Raymond, did he throw that touchdown pass, but he was also the homecoming king.
All right, congratulations, man. Fortunately, the game didn't go as well as the homecoming, but it's all good, man. El Cajon Valley, man, they ain't got nothing to be
Oh
ashamed
no,
of.
they're
Great season.
I'm still going to maybe talk playoffs here in a little bit, but they are in position to have a great run in the postseason, as is Mount Miguel. No doubt. We've already talked about them. We'll talk about it in a minute also. Okay. Great job there. All right, Raymond, you got a chance to go out and check this one out, and that's because they played on Thursday night, talking about the Monte Vista Monarchs, and it sets up what you were saying perfectly. Maybe you could get into it with the highlights. I know you're going to maybe we'll narrate the highlights this one to step on time a little bit, but Monte Vista and the Norsemen here. What the 42 to 21 Monte Vista. I think this one might have been, we might have had the challenge on this one, but nonetheless, Monte Vista, you want to talk about it out of nowhere. They are competing for the league championship now against the Mount Miguel Matadors in the Battle of Spring Valley. Nonetheless, those uniforms are beautiful, by the way.
Yes, I love those gray, that gray Monte Vista look. I love it. But yeah,
Other than the dark numbers, other than that, though, I love them.
yeah, it was hard to see the numbers. That was Alex Venezuela right there. That was actually the very first play of the game.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Oh God,
So,
where are you going?
yeah, they was trying to run the ball all game. Of course, Monte Vista runs the ball very well.
Look
But
at these Norsemen all season. I guess they've been doing this. We haven't.
yeah, they was getting some good pressure on there, but unfortunately, they couldn't stop it every play. That's Jaden Ellison. He had 3 touchdowns on the night.
I think the key here, we're going to see more defense in this one, but still 42 to 21 Monarchs. There you go.
Yeah, this was all day right here.
That Ellison again.
Line, you know it was going to be a score. Yes, that was Ellison. He had the rest of the scores.
This game's key because both teams are in Division 5. It looks like the Norsemen are going to find their way into the playoffs here, Raymond. In an 8-man field, I believe. What's this?
Oh, that's Dominic Cruz. He was running the ball well all game. He was actually the bright spot, and he almost led the comeback. They were kind of rallying there, but there's Dominic again. This was his second touchdown of the night.
Okay, great.
He finished with 2. Yeah, this is actually the last game of the season for Valhalla. So if they have any playoff hopes, they might have to play a cheerleader this week. see if anybody else will lose.
Yeah,
But
look, I think they're in.
we
This is
know
a long
Monte
one.
Vista saying this was a clincher. This was a clincher for them. This play right here, Valhalla tried to attempt an onside kick, but he got it and took it back to the house. That was a pretty interesting play. This is a great touchdown pass right here from Estes. Great corner of the end zone catch. And this one right here, this is the game clincher.
Okay. Yeah, I think the Norsemen are in, but their season is over as far as the regular season is concerned. They will finish 2-8 with that loss to the Monarchs, but it 8-team field. I did finally figure it out, and they're seventh right now. Without it looks like I don't think their position will be influenced by the last week of the season by the teams below them. We certainly know that the Monarchs are in the postseason. So great job. Not only are they in the postseason, Raymond, and we can talk about, we'll preview the game, but you have it right there. They can earn a share of the title with an upset. They'll be a huge underdog, but it's actually congratulations once again, not only for earning the right to play in the Grossmont Valley League Championship game in the Battle of Spring Valley, the annual rivalry game, but also that second league victory that's put them in this position back to where the Monte Vista Monarchs belong. Raymond, that is Monte Vista football, playing in championship games in late October. Even if it's going to be a tremendously uphill task, this is an accomplishment to get back to this point so quickly, really, because again, we were having some rough times. Still 3-6, but they're going to be in the playoffs and probably win a game or two. Win one.
Yeah, man, this is a huge turnaround for Monte Vista. I'm so happy for them to be in this position, to be in a position to share a league title and take the outright title away from Mount Miguel. So it's also give Mount Miguel an extra incentive. Like they don't want to share the league title with Monte Vista. That's the last thing they want to do. So great. We're gonna talk more about it later. But yeah, great setup, great win for Monte Vista, and hopefully I want to see Valhalla do good in the playoffs. They're a great team. They've had a horrible season, but that doesn't reflect on the players or the coaching staff. They just fell on the short end of the stick. But hopefully we see they can bounce back and get a nice little playoff run going.
Well, I'll challenge on that. It's not. I don't think it is. I know what you're saying. 3-6. This has been a very successful season. This game right here made the season for the Monte Vista Monarchs. I believe with this victory. It was senior night, right?
No, I don't think it is. I think senior night is when
homecoming
Miguel comes to town.
Was it a special? Was it
There were no festivities or nothing like that. They didn't announce the king or queen, so that's probably this week.
Sure, you're right. You're right. They are. Well, they're on. It's at Mount Miguel this week. So okay,
I think they got that wrong.
It is at Mount Miguel, though, right?
I think it's at Monte Vista.
Okay.
Because Mount Miguel already had their senior night against El Capitan.
Okay, thank you. I may have that one wrong. And
Cal Preps and Max Preps got it incorrect.
Okay.
Unless it got moved, and we don't know about it, but I think it's at Monte Vista.
Okay, that is important. Maybe we'll even try to figure something out here before we get to the end of the show. Help us out if anybody's watching, because that's a big important. I'm sure everyone knows. I mean, it's just I don't know, and Raymond doesn't have. Okay, making fun of myself here a little bit. Okay, we'll keep moving on here though. That actually would, like I said, that's going to be a tough game. But if I would prefer the game actually be at Monte Vista, not that it's still not going to be a one-sided game, but why not try to at least make it fun early? Okay. It's been a disappointment. Now here's a disappointment maybe for the Christian Patriots, but they played okay in this game. It was a big game against Mira Mesa, but man, the Patriots with a rare winless season so far in league play, and they lose this one 28-19 to Mira Mesa, going up against a pretty good Mira Mesa team, I say, but still just a 1-2 was their first league win. So not the typical Mira Mesa either, but these two always play close games.
Yeah, Mira Mesa is having a great year. Tyson Line had 3 touchdown passes. He ran in one. Chris Brown, I think he had a couple of touchdowns. So, yeah, I saw Mira Mesa winning this. I'm not surprised. Great fight by Christian. Hopefully, they get a league win. I don't know who they playing next week. I don't have that info. Oh, I know who they playing. Oh man, yeah. Best of luck, Christian. Jeez.
No, they're going
Congratulations to Mira
against
Mesa.
they're going against the champs this week, La Jolla. So yeah, that's going to be.
Hey, we'll see, man. Maybe they could play spoiler and cause some confusion. But yeah, congratulations to Mira Mesa and great effort, Christian. Sorry, I didn't have a graphic.
No
I
problem
guess it's
there. In
going on.
fact, Christian, I don't think posted their stats this week. So,
Okay, that's probably why I didn't have it up then.
but Tyson Line had 192 yards and 3 touchdowns, and Chris Brown, certainly Chris Brown, one of the top big play threats in the county, had a 92-yard touchdown play. I'd put him in the top long play threats in the county. Chris Brown of Mira Mesa. So at least get somebody in there, talk about that game, and we can wrap these up here real quick. Henry lost, so maybe La Jolla. Here, La Jolla is going to play next week against Christian. La Jolla rolls here 45. This one's a non-league, I think, but 45-14 in this one. What do you have here? La Jolla.
Yeah, Jackson Dill, amazing, man. 345 all-purpose yards, 3 passing touchdowns. He can get it done ground and air. And his brother Carson Dill is amazing on both sides of the ball. He's tied for the league with 6 interceptions, but you see in this game he had 7 receptions for 111 yards and 2 touchdowns. Aiden McGill's probably one of the most underrated running backs in the county. He killed it, 78 yards for 2 touchdowns. So yeah, man, they look like they're gonna run. They're gonna run the table in league play as far as the Eastern League goes. They got another East County opponent coming up in Christian, so that's gonna be at Granite Hills, which they call Valley Stadium. So yeah, it should be interesting. As far as Patrick Henry, man, they're a great team. Their record don't reflect the team they are. That 4-5 looks different from what I've seen in them. They just, I don't know, man. I guess La Jolla was just better. I'll just say that for lack of a better words.
Yeah, and they're in the mix in division at Coronado this week. That's not going to be an easy game. Certainly, that sounds like a good game. And for La Jolla, you mentioned, yeah, playing Christian this week. Christian's out, man. I guess if maybe they could win, somehow upset La Jolla, they would need a ton of help. It still looks like I don't think they can quite reach the postseason. It looks like they're out, but I guess maybe they could win. And if all the teams above them lost, and I think at least 2 of them might be, I don't know. It doesn't look great for Christian's chances, or they might be on the outside looking in Division Two postseason. So, but they will play La Jolla this week, and La Jolla is going to be favored to win that. We'll even talk about that game. Okay, in this one, let's see. I think it was 55-33 in this one with Rock Academy defeating Mountain Empire. Why I don't have the score on there, but pretty sure that was it. Oh, good, you saved the day. Thank you, sir. Here it comes with Rock Academy over Mountain Empire. Now, Mountain Empire, they're actually, I believe, in because I think there's 8 teams in that division, Division 5 AA, and they all make the playoffs, is what it looks like to me. I don't think it's a 4-team playoff. That's about where I stand on this one. But Red Hawks finish the season 1-9, and Rock Academy wins this one.
Yeah, Great performance by Donald Moore III. He is having an amazing year as far as like all-purpose yards, and I think he leads the county in total touchdowns. So congratulations. Yeah, the Redhawks, they're in 5AA, right? So if they are, they're automatically in the playoffs no matter how they do.
All 8 teams are in then.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
every team in that division is
I
an
see.
automatic qualifier.
Okay, so it looks like they'll probably looking at these ratings, and the ratings are good this year. We can trust these pretty steadily, and these
Yeah,
guys are pretty much they will. It looks like they will play at Army Navy. It looks pretty obvious.
yeah. O'Farrell and 9, they're number 8. Mountain Empire is number 7. So yeah, if things stay like this, they're going against Army Navy, which is going to be a crazy competition.
Oh yeah, no, that's no, that'll be they'll be Army Navy will be favored big time in that one. But Holtville, number 1 seed in Division 5 Double A. Isaac Gonzalez there, 3 touchdown runs for Mountain Empire on a 3-game losing, but they're in. All those teams are in that final division. Okay, and finally. Uh, this was tougher than it looked here at 42-27 in an 8-man game for Foothills Christian, and they won this one. It was 21-17 Coastal. The Stingrays led at halftime. Here as Foothills wins eventually. Ben Hernandez, 178 yards passing and 2 touchdowns, including a 133 yards rushing and a touchdown run. Cameron Brown, 173 yards and a touchdown. He also had a touchdown reception. Hunter Hamilton, 3 receptions for 100 yards and a touchdown for Foothills Christian. They look to be the championship contender in the 8-man postseason.
Yes, absolutely. Cameron Brown also had 2 interceptions for Foothills, so another great performance by him on both sides of the ball. Um, yeah, it looks like they're the runaway number 1 seed for the 8-man playoffs. I can't see the brackets right now for some reason, but yeah, they're my pick to win it all.
Yeah, they're right
Uh,
there. They're right there.
Provide some great competition, but yeah, Foothills looks like the heavy favorite.
Yeah, no, they're right there for the uh, top of the charts in the division. So, okay, I think that's it. Unless you got any other game, I think we recapped them all here for the week. So maybe we can talk about the rankings here going into the final week of the season, and maybe if anything, if that is still at stake here. You follow the other leagues a little more closely, but I don't know if there's anything that relates to us necessarily. So I've come around. I'm going Lincoln number 1. Why not? They're the number 1 seed in the computer rankings and whatnot. Even the voters now have started. A few more have migrated to Lincoln as well. This one's just, I want to say 22-8, just 2 or 3 weeks ago. So Lincoln number 1. They're in the clubhouse, and uh, these top 4 look very, very safe. I'm thinking of it as a standings, really, but it's a poll.
Yeah, I think people are kind of disappointed with Carlsbad the way they've been winning. They've been down and having to rally back. So I think that's kind of losing them voters. Which I mean, the competition is competition, and so I want to hold that against them. Those are 2 great teams, and both of those teams are in the top 10. So uh, they're not struggling against weak teams, but they're still undefeated. They're taking care of business. Julian Sayin is probably the most accurate quarterback in the county right now. He hasn't thrown an interception yet, so I'm not mad at any first place votes they get, even though I'm still Team Lincoln at number 1. But yeah, I think there's those games that those close calls are starting to get to the voters. But
Well, we'll see. I
yeah,
mean, El Camino's had a great season. They're one of the biggest stories of the season right now, as far as their ranking, I think, and they're at Carlsbad. Another tough game for Carlsbad.
yeah, that is going to be a tough one. Who knows, man? We might have to turn on the upset alert for that one. El Camino, they play up to their opponents. If they got a big game, they will show up for it. So I wouldn't take them lightly.
Torrey Pines and La Costa. That is another big matchup this week involving top 10 teams. Mission Hills also, they play Poway. That should be fine. So it looks like that part of the poll kind of stays in. But also, hey, don't forget, the game is back. The Holy Bowl is back this week. St. Augustine's good. They'll be just fine in this game against Cathedral. They might even, be able to pull this one off, Raymond. Come on.
It's going to be a good one, man. Don't count out St. Augustine. St. Augustine got some power, especially in the run game.
Yeah, I think they're
Hastings
too low on
just
this
had
poll. But I think they're too low on this poll. By the way, I'm glad somebody started to vote them back in there on the bottom. But I know I'm probably staying a little bit too much with tradition. And Del Norte's had a great season and all that. I don't know how. I still. I'm glad the Matadors are where they are at too. I'm happy. La Jolla got a couple votes, it looks like, and Brawley as well. Mission Bay drops out. Okay. All right. Let's talk about the games this week. And where I also will also add, maybe if I can, if I know or have any idea where the teams are headed in the postseason or what they might need to do. Okay, Raymond, here we go with week 11 of the season, game 10 for these teams. Granite Hills, they do have to win this game, mind you, against the Foothillers here, Raymond, but certainly they're favored by the computers. Oh, I don't know, by at least 5 touchdowns in this one. It's at Grossmont though. And Grossmont, they're in Division Three, probably locked in their position unless they pull off some type of upset here, though. But they're locked in Division Three, probably around the 7 seed, where they would likely host Valley Center or Morse or a team of that nature, right around there in the postseason.
Granite Hill is going to be a heavy favorite here at Grossmont, but like I said earlier, I'm proud of the way the season has went for Grossmont. 5 wins coming off a winless season and a new head coach. So but I got Granite Hills there. I don't think they're going to be looking past Grossmont in this one. They know they got history on the way. I don't think no Granite Hills team has ever finished a season 10-0. Finished the regular season perfect. So they're going to be looking at that, and they're going to come in ready to bring it.
Yeah, and you had it in the graphic, and at this point, it's become, almost a forgotten part of the story. At this point, is Granite Hills' 2-year-long winning streak. Actually, I would say, Raymond, at this point, the 18 in a row. So, all right. This one is on Thursday. There's a couple. Let's just say a couple of games on Thursday. I would say at this point. Not sure the other one. Let me see here. Just want to see if what the computers. Yeah, it looks like about a 5 or 6 touchdown favorite here. Oh, thank you, Raymond. Thank you. And kind of dropped it, but now I'm scrambling for things to talk about here with this one with you. But appreciate all your efforts on this one. We'll get the next one up there as well. But I don't know. I guess maybe I can make the prediction. I got Granite Hills, of course, to win this one. And again, the Grossmont and Steel Canyon in 3rd place right now in the Grossmont Hills League. Probably going to finish tied, barring any big-time upsets here. But again, hey, if you're Grossmont, you stay in within 3 or 4 touchdowns here. You got positive momentum coming in, and you're going to be hosting a playoff game, it looks like to me, in the first round of the Division III playoffs. Grossmont in a battle with a couple of teams for that 7 seed, including Patrick Henry and Imperial, it looks like to me. So, all right. This one also on Thursday. We're kind of jumping around leagues here with this one, Raymond, with El Capitan as they'll come in to take on El Cajon Valley. And El Cajon going to be about a 3 touchdown underdog here in this one. For El Capitan, they are likely playing for a home game, the way I see it. If they were to get upset, they will probably have to go on the road. They could, anyways. They're right, I believe, right in between there.
They're number 9 right now.
Yeah, that would send them probably. They might have to go out to Imperial or something like that. Meanwhile, the Braves, they're headed for a top 4 seed in Division 5 here, maybe even the number 3 seed. El Capitan is going to be a pretty big favorite here, but maybe by just 2 or 3 touchdowns, the way the computer is portraying it.
Yeah, I see El Capitan winning. 3 or 4 touchdowns sound about right. Hopefully they can get Brant Barker and the La Chapa connection going. And there's still a share of the league at stake. They gotta win this game and cheer for Monte Vista to pull off an upset, and they can still share the league title, force a 3-way tie. So big game for both teams, man, as far as playoff goes and as far as El Cap repeating as league champions. But yeah, you don't want to be in that position where you got to cheer for somebody else, especially a major underdog. But I think they're just going to go out here and take care of business. I got El Capitan.
Yeah, I'll take El Capitan, of course, to take care of this one on the road. But this is the spot for the Braves. Got to be pretty excited to be in this game against El Capitan. And again, they've got big plans in the postseason, and I think in that division, the Braves can compete with those top teams. You've said they've already proven it already, and Valhalla also, they don't play this week, so just want to mention they're also in there with the Braves.
Okay. I think there could also be a number 1 seed on the line. They're number 3 right now. Sweetwater and Sweetwater, who has a 3-6 record, is number 2, and Vincent Memorial 6-3 is number 1. So
there are a lot of points behind. I thought it looked to be too big of a margin to overcome.
Okay, you could be right. I don't know how Sweetwater is 3-6, but maybe at the strength of schedule or the points. So
Yeah,
I think that can help a little bit.
I would just like say something like that, but I really don't know. But we know it has something to do with that, certainly. And but again, look at those teams right there at the top of that division. Anybody can beat anybody. It looks like to me. So the Braves are live in that division. Okay. Now I have concern. Now, do you have Christian playing on Thursday, Ray? Because I saw Max Preps on Saturday. Unless we've moved to the pairings to Sunday, I mean, why would we play one game on Saturday? So I wasn't sure what was going on with Christian. If it was
it looked like they moved it to Saturday. That's what I seen on Cal Preps. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Okay.
I don't trust Cal and Max Preps no more.
Well, I mean, you're supposed to because the teams entered in on a Max Preps, but there's no way that game is on Saturday. I wouldn't think. I mean, pairings have always been Saturday morning, right? So,
I heard somebody say they was going to do it on Sunday.
Okay, so maybe they can play a game, but there's only one game on Saturday on there. So, okay, we can. Do you want to? You're loaded up, so maybe we can just talk about it and get it out of the way because I don't know, but Christian will play against La Jolla. Like I said, Christian looks to be out to me. Maybe they could get a win. They're certainly underdogs here in this game. And, La Jolla's had a great season. They're the league champs, I'm sure, this season, and they should win this game. But it is at Christian.
Yeah, I think La Jolla is going to run away with this. If Christian could pull off the upset, I think they could. You think they could garner enough points to at least get the final seed? Because
I looked at the other opponents too, and I don't think it's possible actually. Looking at the matchups of those 3 teams ahead of them, I didn't think it was going to be, but I don't want to discourage any Patriot. I mean, this is the only chance you have. You must win this game, but there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, this is your champ. This is a playoff game pretty much, or a Super Bowl. So just go out there and give it everything you got. But yeah, I got La Jolla in probably by like 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's what they're. Let's see, La Jolla. The computer says here La Jolla by 3 touchdowns. So yeah, maybe if Christian could stay within 3 touchdowns, I think that'd be pretty good performance, pretty good effort by the Patriots. If they could stay within three, La Jolla looks to me like they're really clicking, maybe almost a little bit underrated right now, considering, with Deal being back and the way they're rolling through some of these teams right now. I mean, they've really smashed through the league games. I mean, beating a team like they beat Morris by 50 points. They beat Point Loma by 20 points. Mira Mesa by they beat Mira Mesa. All these teams have touched that top of 15 this season. Mira Mesa, Mission Bay, and they beat them all. With the only losses to RB and remember El Cap. And again, that was when Deal went down, and then he missed the next game. All right. And we'll move in. I think we can move into. Now Raymond Foothills Christian play. I think it's scheduled for Thursday, but I just note a Jewish Academy forfeited last week to their opponent. They forfeited to St. Joe, so I'm not sure this game's even. I mean, that's what it looks like to me. And Jewish Academy has been a formidable opponent to Foothills Christian just in the recent years. So Jewish Academy, something's gone awry here. I don't know what the details were. It could be just that one game. Maybe they didn't have enough. Maybe they can play this game. But I just want to note that there was a forfeit last week. Jewish Academy won.
At the risk of speaking on something I don't know what I'm talking about, I think a lot of people in that organization is affected by what's going on in Israel and Palestine. So I think they forfeited those games for those reasons.
Thank you. That would be a perfect explanation for that as we continue to worry about everybody involved in that situation.
Yeah, not taking a side or nothing because I don't know what's really going on. My mind's been on football, but I just want to give my thoughts and prayers and condolences to everybody that's affected by that situation. And life is bigger than football, so I just hope those kids, whoever's affected by it, they get through it and get better.
The many complexities of the situation adds to the layers of disappointment. All right. Thank you on that. So if they would, Foothills Christian would be a massive favorite in this game. All right. Let's get to some exciting action here in these, Raymond, with Steel Canyon going up against Helix. And yeah, Helix may be expected to roll here in this one by a few scores, certainly. Max Prep or the Cal Preps, they got them by 4 or 5 touchdowns here in this one. But again, I've got it. The featured attraction here is for the East County rushing title. I've got Jonathan Sablon at just over 1,300 yards, and I've got Kevin Allen over 1,225 yards, Raymond. So I think we're both going to pick Helix in this one. Who do you think is going to win the East County rushing title? Jonathan Sablon, or do you think that it will be Kevin Allen III? How's that for
I think Kevin Allen is going to make a comeback. I think he's going to do it in this game. How many yards would he need? I don't have my calculator on me.
There's a handicap, right? It's a 75-yard handicap approximately. Maybe we'll get the, I think I actually.
So they're coming in as just 75 yards apart?
Yeah, I've got.
Oh, yeah, Kevin Allen's got it.
1307. I've got Allen at around 1225. I think I saw it. I'm kind of going off the top of my head. So
yeah, Kevin Allen.
They end up just a couple of yards apart. You think they'll end up kind of even?
No, I think Kevin Allen's going to run away with it.
Oh, you think Allen's going to stuff Sablon?
Well, they're both going to get their yards, but I think Kevin Allen is going to put up enough to where he ends up with more. So if I say he'll rush for 300 or some yards, and Sablon probably rush for 200.
Woo! That'd be if we come on in next week and there's 500 yards rushing. I'll
hope no Helix defenders are watching this.
500 yards. That would be about. We would have a story. and I think we
Now he's
just
going to put up crazy numbers and somehow run away with the league with the Russian title.
well, I don't
I
know.
think
I mean,
so.
I know that they know that we know that they're over at Steel Canyon. I mean, look, one thing about what was going on in the last year or two, there maybe the Steel Canyon team was a little bit challenged in their offensive versatility. So when they were using Gibbons, he was a lot of his numbers were a product of him being not only a great back, but really just a main option. While there is a little bit more options here, Steel Canyon has been known to, run heavy with their big time back, certainly in certain situations, and they could do that here to try to. I don't know. I don't want to make the story. I think they know. Like I said, I think they know that we know that.
Oh yeah, I know Kevin Allen's talking to his defensive line and that front seven, like, yo, y'all gotta, hey, y'all gotta help me out a little bit here.
All right. Well, Stu
Yeah,
Canyon, they could do a great job here, and like I said, if they could stay within 3 touchdowns, maybe that'd be pretty awesome. I would think, and Helix they'll win, and maybe you could play some people here. It's the last game of the regular season. You know how that's going to go, especially if
yeah.
Helix were to
I
open
think
up.
Helix needs to knock down this win because
Right.
dude, I don't know if Torrey Pines or Mitchell Hills can
So,
catch
no,
up with them as
I
far as
don't think
points,
so.
but they need to lock it down. Just make sure don't give this one up.
All right. Did you guys discuss it this week with a Christian about the door having any possibility of being opened? I don't know. I don't. It doesn't feel like it.
So repeat that. I'm sorry.
Did you guys talk earlier this week, or has there been on the shows any talk about the door possibly being open to a team sneaking into the top four? Because it really just does not feel, barring upset, of course. I'm just saying, uh,
Oh, no,
East County holds serve here; they're in. I don't see any other way around it.
hmm. I know Mission Hills needed Granite Hills to win because they wasn't going to get in over a team that beat them unless it was like 3-4. So I think the last hope is for Helix to lose for them.
No,
And
no, I'm saying barring an upset.
yeah,
No doubt. I mean, no doubt. If Helix or
no,
Granite Hills
the way
were,
it is,
yeah,
yeah,
no.
the way it is now, I think it's going to stay there. I don't think there's anything that can happen barring upset.
No,
Then
no. My
conversation.
proclamation that I made a couple of weeks ago when I said they'll get it, is that they win. No matter what happened in last week's game, Helix is still in. But they need to win this game to make that happen. Sure, if they lose, yeah, I think maybe the
Just
team.
don't leave no stone. Just don't leave no stone unturned. Get the win and
Oh yeah, no, they're
just
big
don't
favorites.
search it.
Look, I'm being a little bit conservative. Helix is built, both computers that I follow have them as 5 touchdown favorites. I'm giving Steel Can. I mean, look, they've had a great time here of this, and I think, some of the score, beating West Hills like that, 49 is, I know, but okay, I'll keep going. Here we're on Helix, and I guess you're taking Kevin. Okay, I'll take Sablon. I'll say that Coach Bone, they'll run Sablon. That's going to be their option, and he'll hang on for the title. I don't have them combining for 500 yards, and Sablon hangs on in a close. They'll both finish with about 1,500 yards. Allen shares some. Cisneros gets in there some. Uh, you know, Helix wins comfortably, and more guys play, and Allen gets a $175, and Sablon gets 200, or two, yeah, maybe, yeah. Well, that no, I need
I can
275.
see Kevin Allen getting like 25 carries, 25 to 30 carries.
Look, I'm not. Hey,
Oh,
Kevin,
they're gonna run them.
he could run for
Trust me,
300
they're gonna.
yards. Okay. At any time. I'm just trying to. Uh, I like your enthusiasm. Let's just say. All right, Santana and West Hills here. It has plenty of meaning, not only because of these teams, record here coming in with Santana 0-4, looking for that first Grossmont Hills League victory this season. West Hills coming in 1-3 in the Hills League, but of course for the Mayor's Trophy. And hey, this one's got to be a toss-up now. Cal Preps does say West Hills a touchdown favorite here, but it does feel like You couldn't tell me one way or the other. I think that might be just the home field edge. I'm sure a little bit else built into it. Maybe that one league victory and the fact that they are one game ahead of them in the standings.
Um, yeah, this one, I think both teams are evenly matched, but if we're going by a common opponent, I would give West Hills the edge because they beat Grossmont and Santana didn't. So, but I don't know. It's all that go out the window. This is for the Mayor's Cup. These two teams hate each other. I think it's going to be a very competitive game. It might go down to overtime or something, or to the wire. Might be similar to what we saw from Santana and El Cap. A hard fought game. And
Low scoring,
really
right? Low
overtime.
scoring here.
I don't even think it probably might be a 20, 30 points each.
Total
For these.
between the two teams?
No,
Or
not total. Both teams
both
with
teams into the 20s or 30s?
I think it's going to be pretty high scoring.
I'll take the under.
But I'm gonna go with West Hills because I really don't know who to choose, but I'm going by common opponent, and I think West Hills played their opponents more competitively than Santana. That's
It
the
does.
only reason.
It does feel like that common opponent is the denominator, right, for separating these two teams right now and being at home. So that's why West Hills is favored. And so, in the spirit of what we've done this year, I will take Santana. I'm saying West Hills is a favorite, and I won't even ask for the points here. I'll just take them straight up. But
So is this a loser goes to the Valley game?
yeah, right. Well, more so, Raymond, for Santana, they are probably number three, maybe number three with a win in Division Four, and maybe number four with a loss. But I think they are in the top four in Division Four, where Mount Miguel is head and shoulders. We'll talk about in a minute, but they're in there with Mount Miguel with a possible chance to face possibly Mount Miguel in the semifinals, possibly in the Division
They
Four.
asked for it, so hopefully they get it.
Yeah, don't slip up. So there's it's Westview that's in there, and they're playing at Mar Vista in a non-league. Does that sound right? Maybe
Yeah,
my
that's right.
yeah.
That's a weirdly scheduled game, but yeah, that's right.
They needed a game. They're playing at Mar Vista. Westview, I think, seals the number. They're favored in that one, so I think
Yes.
that means they'll seal. If there's an upset there, and that's interesting because it's just some nondescript, non-league game at the end of the season where you know how things get sometimes at Mar Vista. Not that Westview isn't, going to be supposed to win that game, but like I said, Westview slips up. Santana could get in, but they'd need to win as well, I think, here. Maybe just with a win. I don't know. For West Hills, they're really number 4 or number 5 in Division 3, and that's important. So they have to win, it feels like, to have a chance to get that 4 seed, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know, man. Every game is important, man, especially when you're dealing with computers. So,
Okay.
so much on the line, man. But at the end of the day, it's a rivalry, and that's what it's all about, having that year worth of bragging rights.
Okay.
So,
The
both
other
teams are gonna. I'm sure that's what they're thinking about. They're not thinking about the playoffs and stuff. They're just thinking about beat West
You're
Hills.
right. You're right. You're right, because this is the city championship. I'm
That's
sitting
for
there.
us. We're the nerds who had to come up with all this stuff about who's getting in the playoffs or not. They're
You're
just
right.
thinking we gotta win this
There's
game.
no reason for anybody. Don't even watch this. Just shut it off. If you're any player from Santana or West Hills right now, there is one goal, and it's to get that trophy from whoever's going to be there this year, handing it over um, uh, at the game at West Hills on Friday night. But I will say this: maybe West Hills plays Otay Ranch. We'll see. Just for you and me, Raymond. Okay. And I'll take Santana.
Hey, did you know that West Hills played Santana every year they've existed? I think they started their program back in like '88 or '89, and every year they've played Santana. They had never missed a year. And I think they actually lead the series around like 24-11. I think I counted. I could be wrong, but West Hills is the series leader. So, got to catch up, Santana. Let's go.
And the reason, look, I'll give Santana a big chance here. I think they have a decent enough defense, and certainly like that Benson is back. Valenzuela's a playmaker. West Hills are definitely there is some offensive woes there a little bit right now going on for sure. Hamilton's done an okay job, but we're not seeing Dill in there at all at quarterback. It's mostly Hamilton in there, and yeah, you talked about Oberg having a great season as well, of course, and Calderon, right? So, okay, I'll go ahead and take Santana in the spirit of things. I used to live right behind Round Table, so you know what I mean, right there across the street from Santana. So, okay, here we go. Couple more here. Well, I'm couple. Who am I kidding? Couple more. This is it. This is great. It's awesome for Monte Vista because of the fact that Monte Vista gets to play in this championship game against Mount Miguel. Not only, here it is, another city championship on the line in the Battle of Spring Valley here in this one, Raymond, with these two teams. But Mount Miguel, look, they're going to be favored to win. They will win this game, but Monte Vista, 2 league wins. They're playing in the league championship as the Monte Vista Monarchs should be on the final night of the season. They've earned it. They've earned the right.
Yeah, I love that there's like more stipulation to this game. There's more importance and meaning than just Mount Miguel going to beat on their rival. Um, Man, I like the way Monte Vista played against Valhalla, even though Valhalla isn't having the season they want to have. Just a great effort. Ran the ball well, controlled the clock, didn't let Valhalla come back. So, but Mount Miguel, they're just different. They're one of the top teams, not only in East County but in the entire county, despite that slip up. But yeah, man, I just want to see a great effort from Monte Vista. Hopefully, with the new stakes on the line, a chance to win the league title. They're in the playoffs already, pretty much. That's what they said after they won. They announced that they're in the playoffs. So big game, man. Rivalries. You usually throw them out the window. You usually throw the records and past stats out the window. But I don't see any reason Mount Miguel can't win this one.
Yeah, no, Mount Miguel is a big time favorite in this game. I'm showing the computers here with them as much as 5 or touchdowns or more. And I don't think this game is about that. This is about the turnaround for Monte Vista and get and those beautiful uniform. No, uh, just a terrific job by the Monarchs this season to get to this point and play in this game. This is the championship game for the Grossmont Valley League on Friday night. Oh, and I'm sorry, Raymond. So you say that this game you have it at. Let me just at least put versus here and change the lower graphic or not even leave that up there because I'm sorry if I had that one wrong. And if it
I
is,
might be wrong as well.
okay.
I might be, but
I'm just looking
I don't
off
know
of
why you'll celebrate a senior night on the second to last game. Maybe they feel that Monte Vista isn't worth a senior night or something.
don't say
I don't
that.
know.
But,
They did celebrate their senior night at when they played El Cap. So, and on the original, I looked at the original Mount Miguel schedule, and it says at Monte Vista. So, I guess we'll find out.
yeah, no, someone's going to end up telling us because we're scrambling for it. I mean,
Schools
again,
is
like
close. So if I go to the wrong school, at least it won't be too far a drive away.
so it feels like you want to go to that one this week. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at Max
It's on the
Prep.
radar.
They definitely
There's
have.
so many great. I haven't made my decision yet. There's so many great games out there, but this isn't one that has my interest for sure.
Okay, well, make sure you get it right. Make sure we all get it right. And again, everybody else may know, and I don't know. It feels like we should know, but nonetheless, Mount Miguel, Division One, number one seed in Division Four by far. They are the favorites to win. They just should not even be headed, actually, by anyone in the division. Quite frankly, I don't want to make any bones about it. They're a contender to win a state championship as well here. Chula Vista is the number 2 seed in that division, and again, that division important because Santana's in as well. Santana's in contention for Monte Vista. Yeah, I have them as in the postseason for sure, no matter what here. And again, Valhalla also looks like they're into me. So, city championship on the line, and we'll take Mount Miguel, of course, this week. Okay, Raymond, let's take a look at the players. I think we got the players of the week. Unless do you want to look at? Do you have Henry, or do you have any other games you have? I didn't load any others up, but did you have any other games you want to look at? Oh, I lost your sound here.
Henry and Coronado, that's the one.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead with that, please, because I had already teased it there, I think, a little bit, because it has an impact on the Division 3 standings here heading into the postseason with the Grossmont. To me, they are in the mix with Patrick Henry here, I believe, in Division 3. And to me, I think Coronado, I believe this is a closely rated game.
Coronado, they're not having the year they want, but Coach Hines, man, he can motivate me to run over a big brick wall head first, man. So I always trust that he can pull off an upset. But Patrick Henry, I don't see no reason they lose this game. They're such a great team. Unfortunately, they ran into some heavy competition, but
Okay.
yeah, I see Patrick Henry winning this game. It's always fun to go across that bridge and play football. It's usually hard to. They usually play tough at home. Coronado, they usually play tough on that island, so it should be a great game, man. A lot to fight for. I don't know what Coronado's playoff situation is, or if they're still in it or not. But senior night, there's a lot of seniors that are going to want to go out on a positive note. So while I do have Patrick Henry, I wouldn't take Coronado lightly.
Yeah, I don't. You look at the standings. I mean, they're just a game. There's just one game basically separating the two teams in the standings. So that kind of caught my eye. Coronado, if I can get that. Well, I'm just gonna kill it. I'm not gonna look it up because Max Preps has too many commercials. So, all right. Thank you for that, Raymond. And yeah,
Coronado's number 11 in Division 4. So this what they got to play for. I'm sure they want a better seeding.
who's below them?
They lose, they could. I don't know. This is an important game. They're gonna have to put up a good showing.
No. I mean, if you're number 11, you better win. So, like I said, they're only a game behind them in the standings. One game in the league. One team is 0-3, and one team is 1-2, right? Or 1-3 and 0-4, right? But it's Henry just one notch ahead of him. Henry's in 4th in the City League, and Coronado's in 5th. So I didn't know if there was that much of a difference. And Henry's on the road. Like you said, it's always tough to play Coronado. I looked at it as a close game. I see that Max Preps has it like a 3-touchdown spread here for Patrick Henry. So that does say a lot, actually, in regards to that. So you're right there as usual. All right. Yeah, Henry definitely can win this one according to the ratings from what I'm showing. Okay, let's get ready then to look at the plays of the week if that's ready to go, and then we'll get out of here and get ready for the postseason. I think here. Oh, let's see. Let's bring those up, Raymond, for this week. Oh, there we go. Is it on the? Oh, boy. I think I've just. Bear with me. I'm going to get it here. Here we go. I got to get the IG. You know where to get them. stfootball.net. And here we go with the players of the week on IG. On Raymond's IG. Bad producing.
This time I did something different.
Oh, really? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, there's no honorable mention, so it's just 46 top players. So I did a 23 on each page in alphabetical order. So yeah, you're gonna be reading off a lot more names.
Well, I don't know if that's a long-term strategy. I see Matthew Barton up there. I see Kevin Allen. You mentioned Autry and his great year running back for Hoover. Cameron Brown there. Your featured player was Brunson of Army Navy, and not to mention, I mean, they have just a some real talented players. Castillo there from the Matadors. Jaden Ellison had that big game with 3 touchdowns and 163 yards. And Hudson Herber, 4 touchdown passes, nearly 300 yards passing. Over here, you got Pablo Jackson, 125 yards. Brendan Lewis, 6 receptions, 110 yards. Featured player there, Donald Moore. You talked about him. He had 97 yards rushing, I believe. Robert Petrick with his booming kicks and key kicks in the game against Helix, also listed there. Maxwell Turner, 118 yards. Paris Vernon, 186. Raymond, any chance? I mean, he's a sophomore. He's going to be putting up some career numbers. Like maybe now, Allen was a 4 year. I guess he not. That's hard. Those Allen numbers were something, but Vernon, when you can go 11 for 186 and 634 yards, and I don't know what it's been, 4 games with 8 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's been having a crazy slate since he came back. He's only played like 4 games, so imagine if he was there the whole season. He'd be near the top of the standings. Try to be careful reading those comments. Might see
All right.
something.
All right.
No, I'm kidding.
All right. Also up there, you have another player, Noah Walker, and he had a big game. The sophomore, just 3 catches, but 2 touchdowns. Walker has been coming on strong. So, all right, Raymond, thanks a lot. We'll catch
Shout
up
out to
with
all
you.
the receivers at Grossmont, man. They got a great receiving core out there. They don't get as much love, but I'll give it to you. Shout out to the Grossmont receiving core.
Like I said, I mean, you imagine, like this coach is coming in. Like I said, I don't know if they knew, but now if they didn't, they figured it out. All right. Thanks a lot, Raymond. We'll catch you up with you next week. We'll go over the playoff. We'll recap the games and we'll go over the playoff matchups. Not every team will be in action. We'll have some buys in there, but we'll have playoff previews. Thank you for doing the regular season here. I know we got another week, but always appreciate you.
Always appreciate being here, man. I love talking about prep football. I love talking about the East County. So, looking forward to next week, man. We're gonna have a lot to talk about, playoffs and some of the best players of the year. So, looking forward to it, man. Had a great time.
All right. Catch Raymond at stfootball.net. For Raymond Brown, I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining us on the East County Prep Football Report.